Let's focus on the statements by deprogrammer and cult fighter Steven Hessen. For years in his interviews, Hessen has been claiming that Donald Trump built a destructive cult around himself, acting as a narcissistic leader. Hessen has also repeatedly argued that Trump's supporters, meaning a part of U.S. citizens and voters, are in a state of hypnotic submission. It was this pseudo-expert, a henchman of Rick Ross and yet another consultant with maniacal tendencies, who advocated the forced deprogramming of those American citizens who support Trump. The deprogramming process implies a forced change of a person's worldview through violent means, that is, by forced confinement, prolonged deprivation of freedom, and a use of physical and psychological abuse. That's exactly how both consultants, professional deprogrammers Steven Hessen and Rick Alan Ross, conducted numerous deprogramming sessions on their unfortunate victims in the past. As already mentioned, in 2019, Steven Hessen released his book, The Cult of Trump, thereby setting a precedent that escalated the discreditation and harassment of the then-sitting 45th President of the United States. In his social media posts, Steven Hessen also repeatedly discredited Trump's slogan, MAGA, Make America Great Again. We should note that the campaign discrediting the American president was well thought out and legally calculated by the adherents of Dworkin's totalitarian sect. They labeled Donald Trump as cult leader and his supporters as cultists, but refrained from openly calling for violence against him. After all, they no longer needed such appeals. The necessary program of violence and persecution targeting the cult leader had already taken root in the minds of tens of millions of people across the globe. We're talking about Far Cry 5 again, where a player's main task is to kill the cultist, the one whom Alexander Dworkin's totalitarian sect would point to. According to official data alone, in the first 5 years of its release, Far Cry 5 had been played by 30 million users worldwide, as reported by Ubisoft in 2023. After reviewing the material above and knowing that the key narrative surrounding the events at the Capitol on January 6, 2021, was used by Rick Ross Associates, the self-proclaimed experts on cults, also known as anti-cultists, to discredit President Trump, posts like the one below take on a different meaning. We have Far Cry 5 at home, reads the caption alongside a photo of the events at the Capitol. It's not hard to guess what kind of effect such a post could have on someone whose subconsciousness had already been primed with the rest of the puzzle pieces. It could serve as a trigger to transfer elements of the video game into real life.